Hello everyone, welcome to SJEC e-classes on YouTube channel. I am Aruna Singh who is teaching you 10th class geography subject. Our chapter is going in this video India water resources. In this video we will study about the water resources, the irrigation, types of irrigation and its advantages and disadvantages, merits or demerits, water resources conservation, the methods of the water harvesting and the meaning of the rainwater harvesting. All topics will be explained in this video. So please watch this video and give your like and comments. Thanks. Let's start our this chapter. Chapter India Water Resources. Water resources are of utmost importance in a country like India, where agriculture is the main occupation of the people. The dense population, which is increasing at a tremendous rate, needs to be provided food. The agricultural production can be increased by following better farming techniques with the use of fertilizers and better seeds. This, however, is not possible unless an adequate amount of water is available. Therefore, irrigation is absolutely essential in India, where water resources are available in the form of surface water and groundwater. So, here is the need of irrigation. Firstly, what is the irrigation? Irrigation is the process of supplying water to crops by artificial means such as canals, wells, tanks and other sources like rivers, ponds or underground water. In India, need for irrigation, many purposes for the irrigation. Monsoon causes rainfall only for 3 to 4 months in the year, so for crops to grow water is required. So it is the first need for irrigation in India. The distribution of rainfall in India is uneven and unequal. In some regions excess water causes floods, while in other less water causes famines or droughts. Irrigation is also important in arid regions. Certain crops require more water than others, so irrigation is required. Certain crops are grown in the winter season, so water has to be provided by artificial means. Here is types of irrigation. Artificial means of the irrigation. Well irrigation, tank irrigation, canal irrigation. One by one our start. First, well irrigation. This can be lined, unlined or tube wells. A well is a hole dug into the ground to obtain underground water by different methods. It's divided in two parts: unlined wells, which are easier to dig and are not lined with bricks and are sometimes referred to as kacha wells. So in village areas, these are called unlined wells. It is kacha wells. In lined wells, this is lined with bricks and are perennial and are also known as pakka wells. It means where the water is throughout air available, so it is lined pakka wells. These are more expensive to construct and can be dug where the soil is soft. The water can be drawn out by the bucket system, the khel method, moat method, by the water wheel. These are the method with help of the wheels water take out from the wells. Advantage of well irrigation. Advantages of well irrigation. The wells can be used according to one's requirement. It can be used be personal or for the whole village or community areas. It can be dug anywhere provided the soil is soft and there is underground water. The mineral content in the water adds to soil fertility. It is the simplest and cheapest source of irrigation. Disadvantages of well irrigation. During summers when water is required, wells dry up and are not of much use. If the groundwater is brackish, then well irrigation is not possible. What is the meaning of the brackish water? It is found in dry regions where excessive evaporation takes place due to great heat, leaving a high content of salt in the water, which is not sufficient for the drinking use, not sufficient for the irrigation. So this is the disadvantage of the well irrigation. Now our second types of the irrigation, it is tank irrigation, which is generally applied in western part of India or as well as in southern part of India. These are constructed by building earthen walls built across a depression or valley behind which rainwater collects. This is later used in the dry summer months also. Conditions required for tank irrigation. There should be hard rocks or impervious layers below so that water does not seep in. Hard surface should be requirement for the tank irrigation. There should be some means of filling up again. Advantages of tank irrigation. It allows the surplus water during monsoon to be stored and used later. When rainfall is heavy, water collected in the tank part and it will be used in dry season. It is easy and economical to construct. It helps to raise the underground water level. These are the advantages of the tank irrigation. Now our disadvantages of tank irrigation. Tanks use up large areas of land which could be used for agriculture. They dry up in summer and are not of much use. A lot of water evaporates as they are very shallow. It is difficult to carry water to the fields due to rocky terrain. The tank are popular in the Deccan parts. These are in Rajasthan parts as well as in Deccan traps. These are mostly popular because here is the natural availability present. Natural depressions are found here, so they are cheaper to build in southern trap areas, Deccan trap areas. Non-porous rocks found here prevent seepage of water found, and the population and agricultural fields are scattered, so tank irrigation is well suited in Deccan trap part. Our third irrigation, canal irrigation. Canal irrigation is an important means of irrigation and is more common in the northern plains. Here is the availability of the canal irrigation in northern part. It means in Uttar Pradesh, Himachal Pradesh, Punjab. In those states, the rivers are perennial here. The water is stored in reservoirs by building dams across rivers. This water is then distributed to the fields by a network of canals. So, the canal irrigation are popular in northern part of India. Here is the two types of canals present: perennial canals and inundation canals. Perennial canals are the canals that have water in them throughout the year as they draw out water from perennial rivers or artificial lakes which have water in them. These are common in northern India where rivers are perennial. Inundation canals. These canals are taken out of rivers without building dams or wires at their head, so regulate the flow of water. The excess water during floods flows into them. So this is less uses inundation canals. Here is the merits or advantages of canal irrigation. Canals bring down a lot of sediments from the rivers which make the soil fertile. Most of the canals provide perennial irrigation and supply water as and when needed. Although initial cost is much higher, canal irrigation is quite cheap in the long run. It means first time investment is costly but long time uses run through the canal irrigation. Demerits of canal irrigation: canals are generally not deep, and since they are open, they may dry up. During the dry season, during the summer season, it can be dry up. The water soaks into the ground and leads to the problem of water logging. The marshy areas near the canals act as breeding grounds for mosquitoes. Marshy areas within the surrounding parts which near the canals part, it will be get wet, and that time many breeding grounds for mosquitoes these marshy areas provided. Excessive flow of water brings the salt to the surface, making the soil infertile. Now our next, tubal irrigation. Tubal irrigation, condition required for the construction of a tubal. Firstly, what is the tubal irrigation? Tubals are large accumulation of water found deep inside the earth over 15 meters and are drawn out by digging a deep boring and taking out the water with the help of an electric or diesel motor. The condition required for the construction of a tubal: a large amount of underground water should be available. There should be a regular supply of cheap electricity. Good fertile land should be available so that the cost of construction and electricity can be compensated. Merits of tubals: tubals are deep and so they are useful in the dry period also. Continuous, they can provide water throughout the year. These can irrigate a larger area and the water is not polluted. Large amounts of water can be pulled out in a short while. No manual labor is required because it is run through the electricity. Tubals can be used only when required and the amount of water can be regulated. Demerits of tubals. Our demerits of tubals: tubals can irrigate a much smaller area than other means of irrigation. It means through the canals, through the other techniques of the irrigation. It can provide the small areas. So, this means cannot be used in areas where underground water is brackish. There is a regular expenditure on electricity or diesel. There is depletion of underground water. It can only be constructed in areas where the soil is soft for digging. It means it is not sufficient for the Deccan part of India. Only it can be suitable in northern part of India. Now our next topic, students, mainly our these sources are having advantages and demerits, but here is the need of the water. So our next topic, conservation of water. What is the conservation of water? It is generally the earth's surface is covered with water 3/4%. It is only a small portion that can be put to use. The fresh water that can be used in obtained from surface runoff, the groundwater that is constantly renewed. The total renewable water resources of India have been estimated to be only 1897 square kilometers per annum, but even then there is a scarcity of water. So need to conserve water. Greater demands for water due to growing population leads to falling groundwater levels. The rainfall is seasonal, unreliable and erratic, and the farmers cannot fully depend on it for successful harvest. Others also problems are just the ever growing industries not only take up a lot of water but also pollute it as well. So need for the conservation of water. Hydroelectric power also requires water for its production. Due to these reasons, it is very essential that we conserve water and manage our water resources to ensure a safe future and prevent degradation of our natural ecosystem. Rainwater harvesting and its importance. What is the rainwater? The concept of rainwater harvesting has been in existence from ancient times in India, and people developed various techniques to harvest rainwater, river water, flood water, and groundwater according to their requirements. It is the technique of collecting rain, flood, and underground water and then using it according to their requirements. It is called rainwater harvesting. Different ways of storing rainwater in India. Here is the some names also I am telling you. These are the important names for India. Locals name Kuls or gulls. People in western Himalayas build diversion channels to provide water to the field in the hilly regions. Johats, khadins were used to store rainwater. It is the soil and the stored rainwater was conserved for future use. These were common in Rajasthan, Alwar, Jaisalmer and Bikaner. Johats Khadins. This is the famous. These are the famous for Rajasthan areas. Tanks or tankas. This consisted of a very large tank, generally underground, connected to the roof from where the water travelled through a pipe. This was considered the purest form of natural water. These kept the house cool and were common in the arid and semi-arid regions of Rajasthan. Bamboo drip system. In this system, rainwater was collected through bamboo pipes which transported water over hundreds of meters and then collected and distributed to the roots of the plants. These rainwater harvesting system are popular in Meghalaya and northeastern part. See here this picture. It is showing that rainwater harvesting, how we can save our water on the earth's surface and also recharge our ground table water system through the rainfall and through the houses connectivity in underground part. So students, this is our water resources chapter which is just completed, and I mentioned important topics and notes in this video. So watch this video and thanks to all watching this video. And again we will meet in next video with a new chapter. Thanks to all.